of this evening is, be it resolved that Google causes a reduced attention span. For the motion, please welcome Anita.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think to talk about what Google has done in terms of causing this reduced attention span, we need to look to the past to see what we did before we had Google. In the past, people read books for the joy of reading, for gaining information. They went to libraries, they did their research for papers and things that they needed to know. This took concentration, but it also was a relaxing, and in many cases, a very joyous thing to do. Then what happened? The internet. And what did the internet give us? The internet gave us instant gratification.
Yay!
We could get information instantly. So, now Google has become such an intricate part of our world that is now, I don't know if it's been passed, but it was talk of it being made a verb, recognized as a verb in the in the Oxford Dictionary. So we don't need to wait for information. We can just go on Google anytime and get what we need. And then another reason that I say that it reduces attention span is because the whole world has adopted it. So nobody is taking the time to read books and do proper research. All you need to do is walk past an Apple store at any time, and you can't get in for the lineup of people. And why are they buying it? Yeah, some of them are buying it for music and that sort of thing, but most of them are buying it for the internet, and they're buying it for that instant gratification. And I'm going to give you just one example. I just bought an iPhone. I had a perfectly good phone, but it didn't have internet and it didn't have Google. So ladies and gentlemen, this week I went out and bought an iPhone. So I have reduced attention span, and I admit it, so please vote for the motion.
Thank you, Anita. And now to speak against the motion, Dean, the leader of opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, apparently the government has a reduced attention span because of an iPhone, and apparently it's showing in terms of the research provided to back up this particular case, ladies and gentlemen. I would argue Google does not cause a reduced attention span. In fact, it broadens people's attention to what's out there. Picture, she brought up the past, a picture in Encyclopedia Britannica sitting on your shelf, and you decide to look up whatever the subject is. You look it up, and there's an article on it written by an expert, da-da-da-da-da. And now, if you go on the internet and Google whatever it is, you can have a breadth of information. Yes, some very incapable people, and other information from very capable people. You can go to Wikipedia, and you can find questionable information, but nonetheless, there are at least footnotes at the bottom with cited references, and there are links, there are hot links within there. So you can, in fact, broaden your attention span by increasing the number of hits you can use. Now, granted, it may not be in depth to the extent that an Encyclopedia Britannica article would have been, but at the same time, and not to say that people don't need to take the time to do research. If you are doing scholarly research, as much as professors say that Google is a fantastic resource that is used by students, not great for the professors from the professor's perspective, but for the students, nonetheless, it starts the conversation, it starts the thinking process, and it gets people interested in research. It is up to the professor to direct the students to focus their research and to deepen their research and to increase the breadth of their research. Now, again, Googling it and being lazy is not an excuse for bad research. But ladies and gentlemen, like anything else, if you train yourself and you do things in the more accepted fashion for scholarly research or general information, you will get an increased depth and breadth of information in your head, as you would if you were reading a book leisurely at the library or the like. And as far as if you work for Google, your attention span is definitely not reduced. In fact, it's broadened. And in fact, they have increased the usefulness of Google throughout the world. And I would suggest that for those employees of Google, that their attention span, in fact, has increased dramatically because they have to be aware of what people are looking for and how to facilitate either the serious scholarly research or just frivolous looking for YouTube videos, recipes, or whatever it might be, ladies and gentlemen. But I will suggest it does not cause a reduced attention span.
Thank you, Dean. And now the final word to Anita.
Well, I would argue that a broadened attention span is proof of this motion, because I would say that the number of hits that you have has no indication that you could be hitting on, 1 minute you could be on sports, and the next minute you're on something else, and the next minute you're looking at recipes. This is not an attention span. We are talking about the good old days when somebody might read a book for the joy of reading a book, for learning about Nelson Mandela, as opposed to going to the quick hit and getting a one-page summary on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about research, we don't even know if half the time that this information that is on Google is actually correct. Like books, they are put through editors and there's a lot of things in place. So jumping around from one thing to the other does not prove that Google has broadened our attention span. It may give us answers on a large number of items, but it's not necessarily something that grounds us in huge detail and an understanding of a specific subject. Please vote against the motion.
Thank you, Anita. And now we get to vote. For the motion and against the motion. 10 against the motion. Dean won the debate.